wanted to jump on here and tell you guys about some really good questions that I got from a PT student. So Andrew, the PT student, texted me last week and asked two questions that so here's what I have to do when I get questions from you guys or pushback from somebody on a reel or something like that, is put myself in your shoes. And a lot of that time, it's hard for me to do that because I've been thinking the way that I think now for over 20 years, somewhere between 25 and 20 years. So when Andrew asked me these two questions, I was like, you know what, for somebody who doesn't think the way that I do and doesn't have the experience that I have and doesn't have the point of view that I have and doesn't do things on a daily basis the way I do things, I could see the way he's thinking would make sense. So this is the reason why I want you guys to ask questions, because I think the way that I think and I just infer that you think the same way, even though I know you don't. The problem is I can't reverse my thinking to think the way that you guys think now without you bringing that on and giving me something to go on, okay? So two questions that he asked, which make fantastic sense from his point of view, and you've probably wondered these questions too. Now, if you would have asked me 2 years ago, you could have had the answer 2 years ago. So if you don't understand something that I'm doing or how it works or how it relates or what is it the same thing that you do or whatever, make sure you ask me questions. So his first question was, have I ever treated anybody who is a non-English speaking patient? And the reason why he wanted to know this was because he wanted to know if giving patients patient education and telling them what was going to be happening was biasing them. And if they didn't speak the language, maybe they wouldn't be biased before I tested them with the NFTs and then treated them with the palpation. So maybe he missed this explanation, but I've said this before, and here's your answer. I don't tell patients what I'm going to do when they come in. So when a patient comes in, I don't do the subjective eval, get the information from them, and then put them on a table and say, okay, I'm gonna put you in this position, and if you can't stop me, then I'm gonna poke around, and then after I poke around, then you're gonna be able to stop me. Don't do that, okay? So I don't explain anything that I'm going to do. I ask them their subjective, get them up, watch them do functional screen, put them on, maybe ask them some questions as they're going through that. Just how's that feel stability wise? Does that feel weak? What's that feel like? That kind of stuff. If they say I have pain, do you have pain going down or coming up? So those kind of questions. Then when I put them on the table, I just start testing and treating. I don't say anything. I don't explain anything to them. I don't give them any insight. I don't tell them what I expect to have happen. I just let them lay there quietly and experience what I'm doing. So when I see their eyes light up after I test something, they fail, or they'll say, yep, that feels weak, or I have pain when you did that. You tested my left leg, I had pain in my right low back when you did that. I say, okay, I don't explain anything. I don't tell them what I'm looking for. I just go treat whatever failed. Then I come back and it's better. It's either stronger, there's no pain, there's more range of motion, whatever. I let them experience for their own what the difference is. And I do that for 2 to 3, maybe 4 muscles. So I want to see the expression on their face when they go, or they literally lift their head up and look at me and say, what the hell just happened? How did you do that? How come I could do that? How did you do that? Like, what voodoo was that? And I'll say, well, hold on, I'll explain here in a second. So I'll do that several times so they understand wherever I go, wherever they fail, I can make them pass the second time. Then I do patient education. So that's what I say, okay, here's what I'm doing. When I put you in these positions, each position that I put you in is a test for a specific muscle. So each position is a different muscle. So if you can't stop me, or if you have pain, or if you get a cramp, or if you can't get in the position, that means you're failing the test that I'm doing. And the reason why you're failing the test that I'm doing is because your nerve muscle connection isn't working correctly. So when I'm poking around, I'm basically plugging the nerve back into the muscle, or I'm resetting the nerve muscle junction. I'm doing something to get that muscle to kick on. So what I'm going to do is go throughout your body, figure out what muscles aren't kicking on, what's not turning on. I'm going to help them turn on. And then when we get done, I'm going to get you off the table and we're going to reassess the screen that we did before and make sure that you can do things that you couldn't do the first time. Okay? I don't tell them anything or have them expect anything to happen before I actually treat several muscles. Okay? So there was his first question. His second question was, now I gotta remember what the second question was. Have I done any studies comparing 180 tests and palpations to sham treatments? And my answer was no. So I've done multiple pilot studies. So if you're a PT student and you're looking for a research project for PT school, let me know. I can give you several different pilot studies that will blow people's minds because it's based on physiology, which is not what they're teaching you in school. So let me know if you want those pilot studies. So I've done those, and just to basically prove that these results happen across the span of people. So it doesn't matter what age you are, whatever, what activity level you are, it doesn't matter anything. If you are a human, which all of my patients are, 100% of every patient that I've ever treated has been a human, which means their physiology has been the same, which means if I'm treating physiology, I'm doing the same thing with everybody, which is why I get results with everybody, okay? So I've done pilot studies to prove that it works, that all I'm doing is biasing neuromuscular physiology. I didn't invent anything. I didn't create anything. I'm not doing something that's outside the realm of accepted physiology. Okay, pretty basic. And B, I don't have time and I don't have the concern to do research because, as I've said a million times, evidence-based practice is bastardized, it's biased, it's twisted, it feeds narratives. There's a reason why people do it, and they do it to push whatever their belief is, okay? So I don't really have any desire to go out and do research, and I have zero time. So I'm busy in the clinic treating patients every day. I'm busy teaching every day. I'm busy sending out emails and putting out this type of stuff so you people can get to where you deserve to be and get out of the broken medical model. So 2 fantastic questions that you may have had a long time ago. So this is why I keep encouraging you, post questions in the comments on these videos, post questions on Instagram on the Reels, DM me questions if you have questions that come up out of nowhere. I will address those questions, okay? So when you do that, you help the entire community learn more, because like I said, I don't think like you guys do. So when I post content, I post it from my point of view, which is probably not the same as your point of view, even though you're agreeing with what I'm doing. You still don't understand all the ins and outs because you don't have the same background. Okay, so the context is different. So when you have a question, ask me questions and I will give you guys answers.